Why, hello there. So, unfortunately, Miss Dani's a bit silly, and I actually deleted my original Crunchwrap Supreme video, so I'm making it over again for you today, because this is one of my favorite Tex-Mex recipes, and yes, I do mean the Crunchwrap Supreme that they have at Taco Bell in the United States, but homemade ones are so much better. So that's what we're going to do. So the ingredients that you need, first of all, are the tortillas. And there are two different types of tortillas that go into a Crunchwrap Supreme. There are big flour tortillas. And when I say big, I mean big. Underneath some of these other ingredients, I have really, really big flour tortillas because we're going to fold those over everything and they've got to be able to close. So you can't use a normal soft taco flour tortilla. I am also going to be making quick corn tortillas out of some masa harina, and I have another video that shows you how to make corn tortillas, and then I'm going to be frying those in a little bit of oil to make them crispy, and that's what makes the crunch in our Crunchwrap Supreme, along with things like some iceberg lettuce. In our Crunchwrap Supreme, we will also put some diced tomatoes, we will put some diced onion, we will put frijoles bayos enteros. Normally you can use refried beans. I just didn't have them in the store, so I'm using whole pinto beans. No big deal. I might even mash them later. We'll see what I feel like. I also have fresh cheddar cheese as well as a cheese dip that I've gotten here in Belgium. It's slightly spicy. I like to have the cheese sauce like they do in the Crunchwrap Supreme, but I also like fresh cheese in mine, so I'll be using a little bit of both. I've got sour cream. I've got my favorite taco sauce that I'll be putting inside of them. I've got cilantro. And last but certainly not least, I have basically Tex-Mex flavored ground beef. And I'll put a basic recipe for this because I cooked this yesterday because I had ground beef that was getting ready to not be so good. I can put a basic recipe in the comment section or in the description section of this video. But basically it's like salt, pepper, cayenne, cumin, and some paprika that you mix in with your ground beef. That's really all that it is. So with all of these ingredients ready to go, I'm going to make my corn tortillas and get those fried. And then when I come back, we will be assembling all of our different ingredients. So I'm going to get these diced up and I'm going to prepare all of this before I come back. So I'll see you in a few minutes. Whew, the time has finally come to put together our Crunchwrap Supremes. Now, what you can't see off the screen here is that I have all of my ingredients, all of the things I'm going to put into my Crunchwrap prepared, beginning with my big old tortillas. Now, these I have not heated up. They're going to be bendy enough for my purposes, although I will say I have the tortillas upside down, so I'm going to go ahead and flip those. I actually like to keep the darker side of the tortilla on the inside because when we cook these, we're actually going to brown them on the outside because they do get cooked one more time to make sure that they hold together. I have my beans on the stove behind me completely heated. I just heated those on a low temperature this whole time while I was making my crunchy tortillas, all that stuff. I have my fried corn tortillas that are going to add the crunch to our Crunchwrap Supreme. I have diced tomatoes. I have diced onions. I have chopped coriander. I have sour cream that I've actually kind of let warm up a little bit because I just want it to be easy to throw on there. I don't want it to be too stiff or solid. I've got my lettuce. I've got my heated cheese sauce as well as my freshly grated cheddar. And then last but certainly not least, I've got my spiced ground beef. Oh, and of course, can't forget my favorite hot sauce. You can use whatever one you choose. Now, here's how I like to do this. We're going to be working in the center of the tortilla. So about as big as, of course, one of these corn tortillas. But we're going to put this in the middle, so we don't want that yet. I like to put things that cannot be damaged by heat on the outside. So that means cheese or meat, generally. And I like using my cheeses as glue. So I'm actually probably going to start with my cheese sauce. And it doesn't take a ton. We don't want it to come gooping out when we eat, so you just want a nice little circle there in the middle. Then I could, for example, put some meat in there. The order in which you put the ingredients in, to a certain extent, just doesn't matter. But it is important because we're going to put this in a frying pan and fry it for just a moment. It just makes the tortilla, the flour tortilla, hold up a little bit better. Because we're going to do that, you don't want to like put the lettuce on the top or the bottom because lettuce wilts when you get it under heat. Then I suppose I could put in some onions. Oops, that's a big old piece of onion. There we go. And Then I'm actually going to do, I think, I'm going to do my cilantro. Boopity boop, 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 boop. Perfect. Now I think I'll put my corn tortilla in. So we'll place them right there. And then I can start piling on the rest of my ingredients. And you can even double up if you want to. I think I'll go with my beans. Now, because I'm using whole beans that have cooked in liquid, I've got a slotted spoon here. I don't want too much of that liquid in my Crunchwrap. So I'll put my beans in there. Maybe a few more beans. I love beans. I do. Beans is delicious. A few more beans in there. Then I might go ahead with my fresh cheese. Actually, no. No, I will not. Now, actually, what I probably should have done, to be perfectly honest, and you know what, I still have time to do it, is I'm actually going to put my lettuce under here. And I'm doing that just for the reason I said before, which is that putting the lettuce in the middle means it won't wilt before we can actually eat the Crunchwrap. So there we go. My bad. Now the beans. Now I can put in the rest of it. So I've got my fresh cheese. I've got my tomatoes. I can put those in. And I've got my sour cream. So I think I'll do sour cream next. It's going to spread out a little. And I'll put in my cheese. That'll get melty on one side. And then my hot sauce. Now, the trick to folding these up is an interesting one. But actually, if you know geometry, it's kind of simple to predict. We're going to start with one side here and just fold it over and hold it. And then I'm basically trying to make a hexagon because I can't make a circle, but I'm going to make a circle with corners. Usually this comes out to either a hexagon or a pentagon, meaning either 5 or 6 sides. This one looks like it's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. And this very last side, we're just going to fold him up just like this. And that's perfectly closed. And then what we're going to do is I've got a frying pan heating behind me. I'm not going to put anything in it, maybe just a touch of butter if I'm feeling it. I'm going to go ahead and turn this over, and I'm going to set him down on a cookie sheet to await cooking. And I'm going to make up the rest of these, and I'll join you guys in just a moment when we're ready to cook them finally. All right, we're back, and we're going to have a look at how to cook one of these. So you can see I've put just the touchiest touches of butter in my pan. I'm going to grab one of these Crunchwraps, and seam side down, I'm going to place him in my preheated medium pan. I'm going to hear a little bit of sizzle, and that's only going to sit there for about a minute. And then I actually will flip it over, cook it until it's just golden brown on the other side, and then it'll be ready to eat. It has only been about 40 seconds, but we're going to check it because I can already smell it. A little less golden brown than I'd like, but that seam will still hold, so no problem. If you want it a little bit darker, you leave it in for a little bit longer. Let's have a look at our other side. Now that is a lovely golden brown. Now he's basically finished. I'm going to cook up the other ones that I have here, and then we'll come back when it's time to eat. And now everything is cooked. We have a beautiful, layered Crunchwrap Supreme. Enjoy.